Welcome to today's webcast. My name is Ghislaine and I'm a marketing coordinator at AOPEN.
And my name is Joey and I'm one of the field application engineers at AOPEN.
We will be your two hosts for today, so let's get started. For those who are new to AOPEN is a value-added hardware manufacturer that operates all over the globe for almost 25 years. We work close with a wide network of partners to create different and unique solutions. We are specialized in devices, also known as mini PCs, that operate for several outings, digital signage, kiosks, and so on. If you want to know more about AOPEN and what we could do for you, check out our website and especially check out the case studies. That way you get an overall idea of what AOPEN is capable of. Before we start, we would like to point out that there is a Q&A button on the bottom of the screen. Please use this if you have any questions so that at the end we can answer all of them. Also, this webcast is available on our YouTube channel later on.
Today's topic is the AOPEN Intelligent Control Unit, in short the AiCU. Some of you might have heard of this before since we have started development a while ago. We are now happy to inform that the AiCU has evolved to a complete device management platform which design is based on feedback from our partners and is reachable via cloud.
AiCU can be implemented in devices and gives several opportunities in remote hardware control, which is also why AOPEN solution differs from regular mobile device management solutions, enabling you to control hardware on a lower level even when a device is switched off and minimize downtime or going on site to fix bugs.
Imagine all your devices grouped and sorted within an online portal with options to actually control your devices from a hardware level at the comfort of your own laptop. I will explain more in detail later on.
We will start with the EDID emulator and also talk more about the out-of-band control, which are all a part of the AiCU. Now, of course, the AiCU has many more relevant features, but to make sure we don't consume your entire day, we will focus on the most unique features. If you think, I just want to try and see, we have demo devices set up with AiCU and you can send an email to request@aopen.com to receive and try AiCU. That way you can view the portal and check yourself what benefits AiCU can give you. Now, let's take a closer look.
Okay. What is device management? It's basically a software package built for IT professionals that allows you to manage a fleet of different devices. With all kinds of administrative tools, you can automate installations or servicing your devices, monitoring your installations and schedule updates over the air, create rules that automatically send out alerts when your preset critical values are met, and many more. This all makes it possible to be proactive in maintaining a high uptime and stability for all the devices that you're responsible for as an IT professional. As Ghislaine already mentioned, there are a lot of device management solutions in the market. So what makes AOPEN solution different? To answer that question, we need to take a step into the details of what we did on hardware level. This is a block diagram, so you can see what lives on what layer. You have your hardware layer, that's actually your AOPEN device. Then on top of that, we see the operation system layer. Think of your Windows or Linux. And your application layer. This can be a signage program, flight information display system, point of sales, video management system, etc. And in the case of our AiCU platform, there's an AiCU agent running in this layer for the in-band control. The AiCU agent talks to the cloud-based portal and is responsible for the in-band control of the AiCU microcontroller. If you go back to the hardware layer, you will see the main AiCU microcontroller. This one slots into one of the mini PCI slots of a system. This is the module where all the magic actually happens, and it's where AOPEN has innovated. It's responsible for all the features that we develop, and because of the rise of IoT, out-of-band controllability is also a request that we get more and more. So we also developed a way to control some parts of the AiCU module out of band. This is actually a standalone microcontroller that has direct access to the AiCU microcontroller. It has its own physical network connection to connect straight to the AiCU portal in the cloud. So what did we do? We saw that there was a growing demand to be able to control some functions that are most commonly used. Something simple as giving a computer a hard reset when it's unresponsive, but also something way more complex like an EDID emulator. These are things that an IT guy will have seen in his career. Think of a video wall. You have multiple screens, you've had put your PC somewhere where there was room and install cables long enough to connect to the screens. Everything worked well until you left the installation, and after some while, your customer phones that the video wall is acting strange. A screen has gone off, the content is spread over the remaining screens, and you have to go on site to debug. This is a typical case of an EDID problem. It isn't communicated correctly. EDID stands for Extended Display Identification Data, and it's a metadata format that the monitor uses to present itself to the computer. For example, it says, I'm a 55-inch screen and I have a preferred 4K resolution with this and that specific timing. Now over time, with a very long cable, some interference may occur. Some electrical fields may interfere with some corrosion of the connections. In any case, the result will be that the EDID isn't communicated correctly between the monitor and the PC. If you have ever worked with a multi-monitor setup and you disconnect your monitor, you always see the desktop building up itself again. It will flicker and the application will be appearing on the other screen. This will also happen with the same video wall. Whenever the EDID signal is lost on one of the screens, the OS will try to display it on the remaining screens. This is an unwanted behavior, and is usually solved with an external EDID emulator. To solve an EDID issue, you can use an external hardware EDID emulator. These devices are not cheap, and if you want to have a high quality solution from one of the well-known brands, it will cost you. With the development of the AiCU, this was one of the first things that we included in the features. Almost all of our devices supported by the AiCU microcontroller. Even if you have an entry-level dual output DE3450, it has this function. When you use an EDID emulator, your PC won't notice if the signal is being disturbed, if a screen fails because it's broken, or the cable has some signal disturbance, or even when it's just unplugged. Sure, you will have one black screen, but the rest of the video wall will keep playing. And then most of your content will still be shown correctly instead of the whole video wall being useless at that moment. Talking about something simple as a cable being unplugged, that's also something that we included in our AiCU features. Our AiCU module can sense that the cable is unplugged. Another thing that we can now control via the portal is the Super RTC. It's a daily wake and sleep schedule. In the past, you could wake a system by a fixed RTC time, but it will also always woke up at that time, 7 days a week. With the Super RTC, you are able to wake the unit on a daily schedule, so you can have different wake times during the weekend, for example. And the best thing, you can also schedule a graceful shutdown via this method. That wasn't possible with the old RTC wake. What else do we have? Well, we also have a watchdog timer in all our AiCU modules. If you enable this via the portal, the system will automatically get a reboot when it's hanging. And this can be one of your fail-safes to ensure the highest uptime possible. The watchdog is a watchdog timer that counts down from 120 to 0 seconds. Normally, this timer will get reset back to 120 before it hits 0. But in the unfortunate case that the OS crashed, the timer doesn't get a reset, and as soon as the timer hits 0, the device will get a hard reset. The same way like your old-fashioned reset button on your desktop PC that you used to have. If the OS is becoming unstable or is just getting slow over time, you can also initiate an OS recovery via the portal. What we did here is leverage the recovery function that a modern BIOS supports. Normally you will have to press something like the F11 button, but you can't do that when you're not physically at the computer. But because we have low-level control, we leverage this function straight in the BIOS via the AiCU module. And you can also initiate a backup. This is very helpful when you want to have one SKU for several solutions. You need to order the system including our pre-installed general Windows 10 image. And when you installed everything you want, just hit the backup button before you leave the unit at your installation. If you have one specific configuration for a big rollout, we can also help you to create a customized Windows image, including the recovery, so you only have to install the system at the location. These functions that I just named can all be controlled in-band. This means when the OS is running. But what if the device didn't boot properly, or hangs at the blue screen of death? Or what if the OS has a bug? That's when the out-of-band control can be a lifesaver. Out-of-band control is controlling a device when it's not running in the OS, and even when the device is completely off. We made it possible to control the power stages. This function alone earns back the money for the first time you normally had to send out a technician on-site to power it on manually. Also, when a device isn't responding at all, then you can even force a shutdown. And we even made it possible to initiate the recovery function out of band. This way you can let the unit boot straight into the recovery mode from a cold start. Of course, when you have a hardware failure, like a crashed SSD or a defective memory, then you'll still need to go on site. But with the tools that the AiCU module and the out-of-band module provide, you will have more gadgets to your disposal that will allow you to troubleshoot the problem remotely, and perhaps even fix it, so you don't have to go on site and do it on and fix the unit on site. There's one last thing that I want to highlight before we wrap up. The out-of-band module connects straight to the AiCU module and has its own network controller. This means that the out-of-band module only controls the AiCU module and can never access the sensitive data on your device. This can be a really big deal if you need to be able to control the hardware, but are not allowed to plug in your unit in the corporate network.
Thank you so much, Joey, for explaining everything to us. Like we said before, we will start the Q&A in just a few minutes. And also this webcast will be available on YouTube later on. Like we said in the beginning, you can request your own demo. We have a special demo pool lined up with the AiCU implemented. That way you can test. Send your email to request@aopen.com or just request it in the Q&A right now.
We now live in a modern world where digital transformation is fundamentally changing our lives and our businesses. The ever-increasing demand for personalized experiences in commercial environments requires advanced technologies that are simple to use. Without a simple solution, deploying and managing a fleet of devices becomes costly, full of duplicated efforts, like troubleshooting or system updates, traveling long distances to fix minor issues. The maintenance and manpower costs add up quickly. What if there was a solution so advanced that it solved complex issues with a simple user interface? One that allowed users to monitor and control whole fleets of hardware from a single location. In the modern world of artificial intelligence of things, AOPEN Intelligent Control Unit, AiCU is a smart AIoT solution that brings together cloud service with advanced device management technology. AiCU is a powerful management tool that enables integrators, software providers, and managed service providers with an easy-to-use central portal. From its dashboard, network operators can access critical information, locating active devices and assessing device health, for analyzing and predicting, and monitoring device usage. All these details are accessible through a single portal, avoiding downtime with real-time actionable data. AiCU offers a mechanism for network operators to troubleshoot and manage entire fleets of devices. With its embedded hardware controller and out-of-band connections, AiCU enables one-click device recovery. AiCU allows frontline workers to group devices and set different provisions, allowing swift deployments and daily operations. Updating systems and applications has never been easier. AiCU supports AOPEN Digital Engine and eTile series products. AiCU is the smart solution for enterprise deployments and business growth. With device management at your fingertips, your network remains accessible, even as it grows. Track the critical data that is most important to your network and grow your business with enterprise-grade tools. With an easy-to-use cloud platform, your business can focus on what matters. Keep your world turning and your business growing with AiCU.
I see a question, when is it available? Well, it's actually available right now. If you just contact one of your local sales representatives or send an email to request@aopen.com, we can make sure that you get all the relevant information, order details, stuff like that. Where can I buy it? As I said before, like just connect straight to our local salespersons. They can have you hooked up. And you can also send a mail to request@aopen.com, and then we'll get you in contact with the correct sales representative. Another question, is this a hardware or a software solution? Both, actually. It's the majority of this is a device management platform, which is software based, but AOPEN put an extra hardware module in it that I talked about, and this gives you the extra in-depth controllability, like the EDA eliminator, the watchdog timer, the super RTC and stuff like that. So that is what we put extra on this solution. So it's a combination of hardware and software, and because AOPEN developed this ASU module itself, we are able to do a lower level control over the device. What models of the DE are supported by the ASU? Currently, a lot. Almost everything. If you want to see the latest models that are supported, check our website. There's a dedicated ASU page on there, and you can see what models are actually supported. And not only digital engines, we will also have support for the ETALs. And there is a slight difference in what model supports what, because the older models, before we started the ASU program, you only have the software controllability, but the newer ones that you can find on the website also have the hardware features like the EDID emulator and SUPARTC and stuff like that. And the even newer ones also have the out-of-band controllability like the DE5500. Do you remote snapshot option of device? Okay, yes, you can take a snapshot, screenshot of the unit, what actually is running on the content. This is the standard feature of the MDM package, so that's no problem. You can do that. Do you have to use two network connections? Depends what solution you want. If you want to use the out-of-band feature, then yes. The out-of-band feature will have direct connection to the out-of-band module, and the out-of-band module can control the ASU module. For the normal communication for the screenshots, status of the device stuff, and stuff like that, you'll be using your normal network connection. Somebody's asking if they are having a large network of 3250S installed, and if the ASU support it. This model was older than the ASU was introduced. So in this case, you can install the ASU platform, but you will not have the hardware features. You will only have the standard MDM functionality. Someone else asked if each device requires a license. Yes. You will need to have a license for your device to be able to control everything on there. Devices licenses are perpetual or yearly based, and this is something that you can ask our sales representative and just mail that request at aopen.com, and they will talk with all the details about the licensing. Someone else asked if it's possible to implement the ASU in this own CMS. We have APIs available, but this is a whole different package. This allows you to talk directly to the ASU client, and then you can put this kind of functionality in your own CMS. You will need to program it, of course, but it is possible that you use this platform and adopt it in your own CMS. If you want to talk to the ASU portal, the cloud portal, and put that in your CMS, that's something that's on the roadmap, but it's not ready at the moment. But you can already talk directly to the ASU client and have a lot of controllability over there that way. And again, mail to request at aopen.com, and we'll get you into the right context, and people can talk more about the details, pricing, etc. Someone is asking if he has about a lot of NUC players for digital signage. I would advise you to buy AOPEN stuff for that. But he's asked if it's possible to install this platform with his NUCs. In theory, yes, but this is an AOPEN platform, so you will have to talk to your sales representative if we are able to sell you licenses. You will only have control with the software, not the hardware for sure, because the Intel NUC, we didn't design it, so we have no control over the hardware. You will only have these advanced features with the ASU modules that we built within AOPEN. So for example, the 3450, the DE5500, the DX5550, or one of the ETALs. Someone else asked how the player connects to the portal, which ports, etc. There are 4 specific ports that it will use for all kinds of different communication. It's mentioned in the manual, but for normal controllability, it will use the normal HTTP ports. But it depends what you want exactly. So if you want to know more of that, I advise you to send a mail to support@aopen.com, and then the technical guys will give you all the answers. Is there a demo version available? Yes, we have a pool of samples which are different than our normal sample pool. These units are all prepared with the AiCU, enrolled in the AiCU, license are activated, and you will have your own trial account to log in and play around with it. If you want to test one of those, just send a mail to request@aopen.com and we'll go from there. Another person asked if Linux is supported by the AiCU. At this moment, Ubuntu 18.04 is certified. Linux has more than 1,000 different kind of distributions. So if somebody asks if Linux is supported, it's a bit tricky. We need to know which version you want to use exactly. At this moment, Ubuntu 18.04 is supported fully. If you have a request for a specific Linux version, then please let us know and we can see if we can validate that also within this platform. Okay, does it work with Wi-Fi? Actually, yes. You will need to activate it with your um, with the setup that you have, but access to the device via Wi-Fi is no problem. We have a D6340 running in our office environment since I think it's already for a year or so, and we actually control that one over Wi-Fi. And then I have my AiCU features, but of course not my out-of-band features because that will have a different port. But I can control my ED emulator. I can change the Super RTC settings. That's all possible. Okay, someone else asked, is there any control about video synchronization between players? That has actually nothing to do with the AiCU. The AiCU is really for the device management, the OS management, but as soon as you go into something that will be displayed on the screen, you will have your digital signage software. So for example, Broadsign or DICE or all the big players, they have some kind of network synchronization that you can synchronize video over different players. So that's handled by the digital signage software. What you can do, of course, with AiCU is make sure that the correct programs are installed automatically to all the players. But the AiCU is really to manage everything up until the digital signage software comes into play. So, for example, in the field, you will have your marketing department handling all the digital signage software and managing every content on the screen. But this tool is really for your IT department that actually is servicing all the devices and making sure that everything is going to run 24/7.